is an amazing and incredible man. He has travelled from London this morning, so I want to introduce Carl Foster.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ignite. It's time to ignite your life and make changes. It's all about making change. And I remember a time in my life when I needed some change. Oh boy. As a kid, I couldn't read and write, and I desperately needed to make a change. So how do you make a change in your life? If you're not happy in your life, in your careers, your jobs. I mean, so many people feel stuck, you know? We're trying to move forward. We're trying to get ahead. How do we make that change? Well, let me take you back into time, back to my childhood. I can remember being just a little kid, fun, happy times. Riding on my bike, a yellow bike, in fact, riding in the sun. But then my life took a turn for the worst. My parents were having some challenges, and they decided to part ways. And I was struggling really hard to deal with that. I wasn't sleeping at night. And I can remember one day in class, trying to stay awake, and my teacher's voice was just like a faint echo in the back of my ear. And then it happened. He said, "Carl, come to the front of the class and read this book. The problem is, I couldn't read. So I remember walking towards the front of the desk, slowly. And my friends, my classmates were like sniggering, laughing. It felt like forever. Finally, I got to the front of the class and I turned the page. I tried to read and the words just wouldn't come out. I tried again and the words still wouldn't come out. Suddenly, my teacher lost his patience and he just said, "Go and sit back at your desk right now." I remember walking back, feeling ashamed and humiliated. And that was like a regular day in my life at school. That was a normal day for school for me. So like fast forward, I'm 17 years old, I'm out of school, no education, no proper qualifications. What do you do when life gets like that? What do you do? How do you turn it around? Well, I had a heart-to-heart with myself. I had to make a big decision that I could continue going on like that, with that low self-esteem, no hope, no future, or I could dig deep inside myself and try and find some answers and head towards the dream. It would be challenging, it wouldn't be easy, it would be hard. And anytime you're going to make a change in your life, folks, it's always going to be hard. You've got to make a choice. Are you going to go for the easy way out, the comfort zone? What you do that is easy, it's only easy for 5 minutes, but it's hard for a long chunk of your life. But what you do that is hard will make you have a better life in the future. So I had to challenge myself. I took on jobs I knew nothing about. I was making mistakes every day, embarrassing myself. But through trial and error, through pushing through the barriers, I was able to move forward and get through with my life. So how do you change your life if you want to change your life? If you want to change your life for the better, you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in yourself. I remember something Les Brown once said. He said, "Don't let somebody else's opinion of you become your reality. You believe in yourself." And now I do coaching and mentoring. I volunteer and I speak to young people. And I encourage them to break the chains that are holding them back. And to understand this is your life. You've only got this one life. Don't waste it. Use it. So if any of you have goals and dreams, who's got goals and dreams? Woo! That's right. I want to see those hands up. You've got to go for it. You've got to believe in yourself. Don't let the naysayers tell you you can't do it. You're going to have people around you who are going to say you can't do that. You're too old to do this. You're too young to do this. You're too small. You're too tall. You're too short. You're too this. You're going to have people who are going to tell you you can't do things when you're aiming towards your dream. And you have to believe in yourself. You have to keep going. You have to keep fighting and ignite your life, ignite your dreams. I want you to repeat after me. Ignite your life.
Ignite your life.
Ignite your dream.
Ignite your dreams.
Come on louder. Ignite your dream.
Ignite your dreams.
Ignite your dream.
Ignite your dreams.
That's right. That's what you've got to keep doing. So to move forward, you've got to have a vision. You've got to have a vision. I remember when I was a little kid and I used to go to Sunday school. They said, without vision, the people will perish. So you got to have a vision. You got to see it. You got to go right into the future. You got to see the dream there. You know, you got to see yourself living the life that you want to live. You got to come right back into the present, and you got to start to put the plans together. You got to start to turn that vision into a goal. So that's what you got to do. You're going to turn it into a goal. How long do you intend for this vision, this goal to be achieved? When do you want to achieve this? Is this going to be 6 months? Is it going to be a year? Is it going to be 2 years? You can't really put a timeline on it, I find. That when I've gone in pursuit of a goal, I can say, for example, when I wrote a book and became an author, I was like, I'm going to do this at the end of the year. You know, I started writing like around May 2010, I think it was. I was like, by December, I'm going to do it. Wrong. It took me about a year or so to do the writing. Then I had to get an editor. Then I had to get a publisher. There was all kinds of nightmares before I actually achieved the goal. I learned. So, although we say, you know, set a goal, yes, go in pursuit of it, but it's never going to be easy. There's going to be challenges, there's going to be stuff. But it's who you become at the end of that pursuit. When you achieve the goal, you're going to become, you know, oh God, the person you're going to become, you'll be surprised. You're going to overcome your fears, you're going to overcome your challenges. And you'll be able to help other people as well. So you've got to keep going for it. So the next part we look at is the plan. You've got to start to put the plans together. Do you need to phone somebody? Do you need to contact somebody? Do you need to come to the Ignite event and get pumped up, charged up, and start to move it? Ignite, right? This is part of it. You're here, right? So this is part of the plan, right? So you're here. So you've got to do the planning, and then you've got to take action. And you don't just take action once, right, and get knocked back, and you say, all right, well, that's it. I'm going, where's my jacket? You've got to keep coming back. It's like trying to plow through a pane of gold. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep going. And you're going to get hurt sometimes when you're going there. You're going to get some rejection sometimes. You're going to get knocked down sometimes. Sometimes you just think to yourself, well, oh God, maybe it's just not going to happen. I might as well just, let me see this. Maybe I'll watch one of those soap operas on TV, but it's too boring. So you're like, no, I'm going to go for it again. So that's the key thing. You've got to take consistent action and go over and over and over again. And at some point, somewhere, sometimes when you're not expecting it, that breakthrough comes through. And you start to see the change that is going to come. And you amaze yourself. You surprise yourself in what you can accomplish. So you've got to really just, you've got to stay with it. Consistency, commitment, dedication is one of the key things. And why is it so important to work towards our dreams? Why is it so important to achieve this goal? Why? I mean, so many big ideas today lie in the graveyard because the person who had them didn't stay on track for their implementation. They gave up at the slightest obstacles, and they listened to negative self-talk in their own mind. Their friends and relatives perhaps didn't support them. They got discouraged and forgot the vision that excited them in the first place. But you see, to achieve your goals in life, you must be persistent and never quit. You must express drive and determination and a burning desire to succeed. You must have a powerful belief that you can win. And then surround yourself with people like this. It will keep you on track. And that's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to push yourself. You've got to stay committed. What are the things that can stop you in pursuit of your goal? Can anyone answer? What can stop you? You've got the goal, you've got the dream, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to go. But what can stop you?
Self-belief.
Okay. Anything else?
Fear.
That's right. Any more?
Negativity around you.
That's right. More?
Lack of action.
Right. So you see, you've got the internal obstacles. You've got the external obstacles. So the people around you can sabotage the dream sometimes. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're too old. Give it up. And then there's your mind. Your mind. Your mind. I think that might be the most dangerous one, you know. I think it's the mind. You could have people who, we've seen it before. If you think about self-love, we've seen it before. You have a superstar. Everybody loves the superstar. Yeah, I love the music, I love the film, whatever they do. The superstar don't love themselves. Superstar going through something inside. They've got millions of people that love them, but they don't love themselves. So it doesn't matter who believes you can do it. Do you believe you can do it? Now, when we can tap into ourselves, when we can believe in ourselves, that's where the change is going to come. You know, as I said, as a kid, I couldn't read or write. And a lot of people wrote me off. And in the time that I was going to school, if you struggled at school with your academics or your work, they didn't know what was bugging you back in those days. They would just kind of write you off. You had to self-help yourself. There was many kids that were going through the same thing. And many of the kids that I went to school with, many of them didn't make it. So it was down to having that self-belief that I could do it and pushing myself. And you've got to be prepared to humiliate yourself. You've got to be prepared to do things you don't know how to do. You know, they say every master was once a disaster. And that's right. You have to be prepared to be completely rubbish and work towards the dream of where you want to be. And through persistence, you'll make it. I remember one time I did a talk and a young chap said, I like what you said and you seem like a natural. I said, what you're looking at is the work. You're looking at the work. It's the work of pushing, you know, trial and error and believing in myself. And I urge you, if you believe in yourself and if you commit to what you want to do and what you want to achieve in life, you'll make it. So just keep going, pursue it. I also wanted to share a poem with you, which is in a book that I wrote, and it's called It Couldn't Be Done by Edgar Guest. And what the poem taps into is the external challenges where people don't believe in you, and sometimes that can hold you back. Sometimes that can discourage you. And it goes like this. It couldn't be done. Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would do one. Who wouldn't say so till he tried? So he buckled right in, with a trace of a grin on his face. If he worried, he hid it, as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done. And he did it. Somebody scoffed, "Oi, you'll never do that. At least no one has ever done it." So he took off his coat, and he took off his hat. And the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. With a lift of the chin and a back, bit of a grin, without any doubting or quitting it, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Ladies and gentlemen, there are thousands of people to prophecy failure. There are thousands of people who will not believe in you. There are thousands of people who will discourage you one by one. But the key thing is to stay on track and believe in yourself. So just hold on and keep going in pursuit of your goal, and you will make it through. Believe in yourself. So what I want to do is to just do some affirmations with you and get you to believe that you can do it. When your mind says no, what do you say? When your mind says to you, no, you can't do it, what should you say? How do you respond to it?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. And when your mind says, it's impossible, what do you say? It's possible. So we've got to challenge our minds. We've got to use these affirmations to push ourselves through and to make things happen. I wanted to share a poem that I wrote. By the way, are there any questions at all? Did anybody want to ask any questions or anything? No? Okay. I just wanted to share a poem as well that I wrote. I touched on my talk about divorce. I've never been married and I've never been divorced. But I know from like friends and relatives and colleagues that it is very traumatic time for, you know, both parties involved. And a relative of mine went through a divorce many, many years ago, and it inspired me to write this poem. And the poem is called Dry Your Tears. And it's really just sort of like looking at a new beginning. So that, yeah, something tragic has happened, right? But it's like starting over. So it goes like this. Dry your tears, as better days is coming to you. Don't see yourself as a victim, as that will hold you back in life and keep you stuck where you are. To move forward, instead see yourself as a being of power and greatness, of who can make great things happen in your own life. Give yourself time to heal, to mend, and it will all come together for you. Yes, I understand you have to release the pain. Let it flow, let it go, release it, and then rebuild yourself, coming back stronger and better than you ever was before. Recreate yourself, reinvent yourself, and rebuild your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-confidence, and emerge a new, improved you. Set personal goals for yourself. Give yourself a purpose to live, as without purpose, there is no direction but frustration. The pain you feel today, the hurt you feel, is temporary and will pass. Pump up your mental energy with positive feelings that will last. Self-love, enthusiasm, inspiration, motivation, aspiration, your power of creation. This journey called life is of constant change. And understand this, if you don't like something, you have the power to change it for the better. Use the power of visualization, affirmation, the powers in your commitment and dedication. Use this great power that you have within you and discover just how great you really are, and attract all the abundance of life you desire. So dry your tears of sadness and change those tears of sadness into tears of joy. So you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to push yourself. You've got to make the change. You've got so much talent within you, all of you. You've got reservoirs of talent that you haven't even explored yet. And I just want to close in saying, go out there, make it happen, believe in yourself. And come on, repeat after me. Ignite your life.
Ignite your life.
Ignite your life.
Ignite your life.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carl. That was so inspirational. So